I think it's about time for us to talk about champions. Finally, to really I would say really talk about the storyline, right? About team secret, not secrets, team spirits. My bad, team spirit from like the absolute underdog and like with their complications with their practice rooms, and they had a rough start during the group stage. I think they lost. They started with a 0-4 record, yeah, and then all the way
0-6, wasn't
yeah,
it?
0-6 or 0. Yeah, I think you might be right. I think 0-6 and then into 10-6. Yeah. So they pretty much went up like undefeated and all the way, and they qualified and to the upper bracket, and yes, they got knocked down on the first day of low bracket, and that made it even more interesting, more amazing, right? Their run, they literally have to fight through almost everybody in order to win the title. Like, would in your mind, would you equate this to, like, I mean, yes, a lot of people are already calling it like a Cinderella run and all that, but do you think this is more of a feat, or as compared to, let's say, OG's run in TI8, or if you have to compare them, like, which would you feel is more, I would say, how do you even compare that? Yeah. Yeah, because I hear a lot of comparisons about, like, Team Spirit is pretty much, like OG but from CIS. Yeah. But I personally don't think that.
I don't think they are like OG, because OG had like this like superstar players already. Superstar players with a lot of experience. They weren't superstars, but No Tail,
I think it was
and
just
everyone behind.
Just Thompson was the only
And Dana.
new.
Dana. But to Team Spirit, I think this is a very good case for Valve to keep, focus their attention or give more attention to tier 2 scene. This is your pure 2-team grinding scene, team grinding in lower divisions and third party tournaments, tier 2, tier 3. This team played a tier 2 tournament a week or two before TI.
Yeah, Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Miposhka said winning TI felt the same as winning Pinnacle.
Yeah, that was so hilarious. I was like, oh well. And
because he had just as many games, for him it was just continuous preparation for the next game, and they came with this mentality of being, taking everyone serious and just do your best, because when you play tier 2 tournaments and lower divisions and everything, well, they played in the upper division this DPC season, but before that they had like tons of qualifiers and other things. But when you play those, you play to win. You have to win. You have to be in the top 2 for the money to mean something, because the prize pools on those tournaments are small. If you finish 7-8, it's not like you're gonna make a living out of it. You always have to win those, to be able to survive. And they didn't come to TI aiming at the 8 million. So I'm pretty sure that there wasn't. I mean, Silence answer to this is a game for $15 million. Did you think about that? They asked after the draft. I said, no, I don't think about the money. I think that's a true, honest answer. But what they think is like, how do you get further? We need to be there, And I think this mentality of them grinding for like 2-3 years, some of the players of Team Spirit, Miposhka, if you look at his profile, he's with Yellow Submarines since 2015. This guy, I think he has more knowledge of the lower team or the lower tier scene in CIS than anyone else right now. And I give him a lot of credit for this team and for this victory. I think his work there was huge.
Definitely. Yeah, I think what I like about them is, like, I mean, in terms of like their team attitude, as well as like the gameplay, it kind of reflected on their gameplay, right? Like, you have like the aggression, but at the same time, it's not your usual Dota just go in and die, right? I mean, they have like, everything is calculated. Like, the draft is amazing. They kind of know how to play around certain things, and yeah, and I believe Miposhka did a lot of work, especially with his like great warding and the way he control and also protects the teammates. And you have like the two side polarity, right? You have the aggressors like the Yatoro, your carry, your what's his name again? Toronto Tokyo and all that. But at the same time, you also have like Mira as well as Miposhka that really just sit back and be the sacrificial lamb most of the time. Yeah.
Well, and I think another thing is that like Yotaro, someone said it wasn't a hero pool, it was a hero ocean. I mean, there's just so much depth to when you can play so many different heroes. It opens things up so much for your drafting. It opens things up for your gameplay, your game style. And, historically, we've seen a lot of these big pro players are, you know, very small hero pool. They play magnificently, but they're still a smaller hero pool because they've perfected them, they've mastered them, and they focus on them and stuff. Where Yotaro's was so big, it opened so much up for them, and nobody really could understand maybe what they would pick next for him or something, and that's something that went to their advantage.
There's also something, I think it has a lot to do with the mentality of your coach, of your drafter, of your captain, and everything else. I mean, some teams here, some tier 1 teams, super known teams, I think they always, they understand that these 2-3 heroes of ours are so strong that we almost challenge you to beat us. I mean, are you up to take this challenge? And most of the lower tier teams, or the teams that lost to them many years or many times, they will not that they will play with fear against a Terror Blade or against a Medusa or something, while Team Spirit was like, dude, yeah, and no pressure. Again, after a second lower bracket round, I kept saying Team Spirit overachieved, and from here on they'll just go further and further, because really, there's no pressure on them. All these teams that they faced in the lower bracket were with the pressure on them, from there on.
And you're definitely right with, you're definitely right with that. They play with no fear, right? And in fact, in most games, they are the one who are the problems. They create problems for the other team. They really don't care about what sort of hero or whatsoever draft. They will just make something up. And I think that's what we like about them as well. What do you think with their victory? Like, what sort of impact would it make, to the scene of the community, especially the CIS region, or like even around the world? Because like you said, they are pretty much like a representation of tier 2, right? And with this kind of success, do you think there will be a lot of positive impact, or not positive impact? What do you guys think?
I'm afraid that something will happen now. Like, people will say, "Oh, God, we slept on this CIS scene. These guys are actually super good. What do we do?" I won't be surprised if in this shuffle we will see more CIS players migrating to other regions, and I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good for the CIS scene. What Team Spirit achieved right now, I think it's super great, but I think you have to give credit to them specifically, not the region. I don't think the region is that strong, actually. And I'm gonna wait for the next DPC season to probably prove me wrong. I don't think so, though. You look at Virtus Pro, who actually, were the top team through all these regional leagues. They got beaten by Team Spirit. I think that was the most grudge match Team Spirit actually had in this TI, the only one that counted for them a lot, to prove something. I don't know. I'm afraid a bit that, now we go into a new year with a lot of hype on CIS Dota and say, oh, CIS Dota is back. These players are super good. It's absolutely great that we have 2 teams that were so young, and that, it's some sort of generation changing. But just wait and see how Navi will do from now on. I'm a bit afraid that for Virtus Pro, I'm a bit afraid that for Virtus Pro, although they are top 6, this wasn't easy to swallow defeat, because it was the Team Spirit, and I'm afraid that we might see some changes there, and that the team will not be the same. And CIS is very much, in temper, as temper and egos and everything. CIS is very much like South America or North America, where something happens and the team disbands like that just because of an ego, or just because of some words thrown at intense moments. And it's good. I mean, Team Spirit story is good in general, only because it's another example that everyone or anyone can actually win TI. This is what's all the time, reminded. Hopefully Team Spirit will, I also have this fear that not everyone from Team Spirit might continue play, they just won 18 millions. That's about 5 million per player. Some might get just, okay, I'm done. This is enough for me. And we'll see.
So Christy, I know that you are writing, or by now you might be finishing up an article on Team Spirit. So you want to enlighten us on like some of the points that we're covering?
No, you have to read it to find out.
Yes,
don't give
exactly
away.
Right. Yeah, we will have the link.
That was my clickbait right there. Thanks,
Yeah,
Betty.
we have the link down there in the description, so do check it out. Like, what's our Christy's thoughts on that in regards to like Team Spirit's run, and yeah, it's gonna be a fantastic piece. I'm sure about that. Yeah, so go read it.
Oh, I'm just saying, it's going to be basically, it's a piece that just highlights their journey from, being the underdogs to the champions, and some of the things that they either experienced or may have contributed to that success. In the past, I've written a piece about what makes a championship team, and looked at lessons specifically from OG. So kind of correlating some of those together and looking at a championship team, not just in terms of your talent or your experience, but what are the other points that can help bring people to those, to becoming a championship team, to being able to progress, face adversity, things like that. So it'll be good.
Yeah. Now that we've covered Team Spirit, the champions, I want to talk about the other storylines. And the first one to talk about, of course, is PSG LGD. I think that's gonna be a super tough pill for them to swallow. That I think this is their first run-up run.
Second.
Second. Yeah, second. Yeah.
I don't know if the TI8 loss was super hard to swallow for them. I'm not sure this one feels the same. I think this one is hard to swallow by everyone else around LGD, from fans to analysts. This was the year when everyone agreed. I haven't seen that in Dota in many years. This is the first time when everyone was agreeing, this is the TI that LGD should win, and everyone was fine with that idea. From other teams, competitors that lost to them were like, it's fine, they deserve this TI, they should take this TI,
and the various regions. I mean, how many times do we not see all the regions kind of agreeing as well?
Yeah.
Especially for Chinese.
Mm-hmm. This was something very special to observe, during this TI. And then they lose to Team Spirit. And again, I will credit, it's going to be hard for Ame, I guess. If you remember how this fifth game finished with him trying to stop that Roshan, it was, of course, there was nothing else to do as LGD. They had no buybacks. Ame was the only one alive. He goes with the Tani trying to stop the Roshan, dies, and the GG is called. But this is the second big move that remains attached to Ame, after the Terror Blade buyback at TI8 that lost the game. At TI9 now he dies trying to salvage the game. Do you hear that? I have some construction happening upstairs.
No, it's fine. Yeah. We hear that, but it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. It distracts me. But yeah, what I was saying, I think is not as hard to swallow for LGD, but for everyone else around them. LGD already agreed to stay together and push for another year because they realized that, this was their best shot ever to take that Aegis. And I think if they have something there as a chemistry, as a group, because you also have to take that into consideration when you change or not change a team. If they really have, something really good going on, and this announcement coming so early after the loss, like, no, it's fine, we stick together. I think it's a positive sign and a good thing.
Yeah, it is a proven formula. Why break it? I mean, yes, they They couldn't win it all, but it's pretty close, and they will have another shot next year. That's good. But yeah, I mean, the fans, like you say, the community around, especially the Chinese region, wow, they were so brutal against them. But yeah, I mean, I'm
All
not
the
surprised.
conspiracy theories and
Yeah, troll games like why didn't you
why'd you pick
ban
this? Why'd you? Yeah.
Magnus? Why you pick that? Yeah,
So
Xiao
yeah,
destroying and
if
stuff.
you think some people or talent or players or teams have it hard on Reddit, just make a Weibo account and try to translate and see what's happening to these
It's
players after
horrible.
HDI. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I was going through the comments and it's like, wow, good on you. I think just block them or like deactivate your account for a few weeks. Yeah, recover from that. Yeah.
Well, you know that in China, from time to time, they are not allowed to go on social media. Before and post events, they actually have this, contractual things in paragraphs, and they are not allowed to check social media, and for a good reason, because if you have like thousands of comments telling you how bad you are as a player and how good I am, random fan from home at 3 kmmr acknowledging and seeing your mistakes in drafts, you just better quit Dota,
Yeah.
It's again, we come to this ruthless community that we have.
And how about, okay, anything else to add for PSG LGD before we move on? Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Team Secret, right? I mean, this is their best runs thus far. Third place, not too shabby. But what do you guys think about it? Do they still, like, in a way underachieve, for what they've done so far during the regular season and all that? And Puppy is the only all-time TI player and all that. Is this underachieving okay or like overachieving? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
It's progress. It's progress every year. It's getting closer and closer. 2 more years and it's his. He's got it.
Yeah, 12, right? That is
Yeah.
the year, yeah.
It's progress, but at some point they were the best team in Europe, and if I had to bet on someone from Europe this year, it would have been probably them to make a good TI run. I think it's a tough loss for them. It's not easy to accept that it's what, 5th year in a row TI5 or TI6 was first Team Secret TI. When you are not there, you didn't win the ages. I don't know, we might see retirements after this. We say that 2 more years and he got it, but at the same time you have to think that he's 29 years old already. It's pandemic. Hopefully we're gonna have TI 2022 and nothing crazy happens like we had 2020, skipping. It has to be a bit frustrating. It has to be. Because on paper, this team was super stacked, super good.